Family, how y'all doing? Hope you're having a nice day. I know I look a little different. You know, fam, I'm not really sure why it always seems like I want to grow my hair out and put weave in it when it's hot in the summertime, but then in the winter I shave it off and I'm bald-headed. I'm not really sure why I do that. Guess I'm just backwards like that. But fam, I wanted to talk about Ascension Symptoms today. I've been having some newer ones, and my soul family, you all are in alignment with me. You always seem to be having the same symptoms I'm having, which is pretty cool. My soul family. So as we keep ascending, the symptoms are changing. We adjust to the ones that we are originally feeling, and then we don't feel those symptoms, and then we move into new symptoms. Listen, you probably have already Googled, read, and found all of the symptoms there, and you probably realize that you have all of them. That's what I realized in the beginning when I used to search for symptoms. And all of them, it's like I used to only seem like I related with one or two of them. Now it's like every single symptom I have had. Maybe some of them I had and didn't realize it at the time. As we grow, we start to remember and realize the things that we've been doing. So Ascension Symptoms. Well, first, let's start by saying, okay, the universe is going through changes. We already know that, right? And humankind is also going through changes because we are connected to the universe. So there are a lot of intense energies moving through the planetary system. And those of us who have agreed to be a part of the shift or help with the shift on the planet, we seem to be having these ascension symptoms. Still trying to figure out why we agreed to this shit. Still trying to figure it out. I'm just playing. I know why. Clearly, we agreed to this because we are spiritual warriors, right? We fight for the light. Chosen ones unite. I know that was corny. Y'all gonna let me be corny. Accept my corniness. So, fam, we are adjusting to new frequencies. Our bodies are changing on a cellular level. Our physical bodies adjust in order to absorb the increased light of awakening. And our DNA is being upgraded. Also, these increased synchronicities that we're experiencing, number synchronicities, etc., is because we are aligning with a higher source. So, fam, I wanted to go over a couple of symptoms that I've been experiencing and a couple that I haven't, but I just was interested in why it happens and was kind of doing a little research on it. I did this podcast with this young lady, Shayla, beautiful soul, also went through a Kundalini awakening. And she told me about this symptom of disorientation. I also had, when I first created this channel, another young lady who's going through a Kundalini awakening told me the same thing. I've had lots of people talk about disorientation. It's a fly. A lot of people talk about disorientation. I haven't experienced that, but what I've learned about it is that the disorientation happens because of us shifting from 3D to 5D. Like we exist in both dimensions. And that shifting, it causes like a clash. And listen, some of you all, the things that you experience, I kind of like had the nerve to think that I was suffering with that energy shooting up my spine for 20 years and thinking I was cursed. Listen, some of the stuff that you all experience, it's like I'm glad that all I experienced was that. I mean, I know it was. The main thing is if I knew what it was, then I probably wouldn't have felt like I was suffering, right? But you all have these symptoms and these things that like, I just feel like that Kundalini energy was very kind with me. It's very kind and gentle with me. It didn't feel like it at the time, but compared to some of the stuff that you all experienced, your younger generation, y'all are special. Y'all are strong. Okay? That's the reason why it's almost like you all have a lot of these very intense and you know, like life-changing symptoms, because it's like you all have information. You're able to learn and know what you're going through. I could just imagine if I had gone through some of the symptoms that you all have. I already thought I was cursed. So imagine how crazy I would have felt, like I was insane, if I experienced some of the stuff that you all experienced like 20 years ago, when we didn't have information really in my generation to learn about this stuff. So hats off to all of you. But the disorientation, I'm learning that is due to the shift from 3D to 5D. It kind of like existing in both dimensions causes a clash, and that's what creates that disorientation that many of you have been experiencing. Another thing is the loss of identity. So this is something that I've only experienced to an extent. Now this loss of identity, this happens because you actually realize that you are not just a physical body, but you are a spirit in a body. And all of the things that you placed all of this value in, whether it's your money, your status, and other material things, you realize that these things really don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. And that's very hard to accept when you have put so much value in these things all your life. It's hard to accept that it doesn't really mean anything. But I think the important thing to kind of realize when going through that is that you're not really losing anything. You're actually gaining the true you. So you're not losing anything, even though it's hard to accept. I feel like I went through this slightly when I lost interest in being on certain platforms, Facebook and Instagram and stuff. I wanted to go back to that. I wanted to be that me that used to post stuff on there, and like I wanted to do that, and it wouldn't feel right. I would try to go back and it just didn't feel right. So I had to honor that was not me anymore. And like I said, that's not easy to accept when you have put so much value in these things that really don't mean anything. It's not easy. But like I said, just keep in mind that you're not losing anything. You're actually gaining yourself. You're gaining the true you. You're gaining who you really are. Well, I have to keep moving as the sun is moving. Get it out my face. So fam, another thing, the short-term memory loss, right? Now, this is something that I didn't recognize or see myself having, because my memory seemed to have gotten like really good after going through an awakening. I started remembering conversations I had with people 20 years ago. I started remembering dreams I had as a kid. I could tell you a conversation we had years ago. Like, I just started to remember everything. Memory got really good. But then there are these moments of short-term memory loss that I didn't even recognize. So let me tell y'all what I did on Monday. I went to Walmart, right? So I pulled into a parking spot, and then I noticed there was one a little bit closer. So I backed out and I went and pulled up into that spot. Went grocery shopping. So I come out the store, and for some reason, I believed that I parked in that first one. So I go over to the spot, I'm walking over and my car is not there, and I'm like, I can't believe this shit. Somebody done stole my car. So I'm like in that parking spot with my buggy of groceries, standing there like, what the hell? Guess I'm gonna have to call the police. Reach in my pocket, I pull out my keys. I just press the button, the lock button. Bump! I hear the car, I look over. I just felt so stupid. Like I was seriously standing in that spot. Like for some reason, I just did not remember moving to a second spot. I just thought I was in that first one, and I I was like, I was just like distraught, like somebody stole my damn car. Okay, so I guess that's the short-term memory loss right there, I guess. But my memory seemed to have gotten really good. But the short term, I guess it happens. I didn't even, sure, it's probably happened other times with me just misplacing things that I sit around. But that one on Monday, I was just like, I was just standing there and I was just like, I can't believe I've been standing here for 5 minutes getting ready to call the police. The next thing that I've been experiencing is this popping sound that I'm hearing in my head. And it seems like it's between the ears and the throat, which is clairaudience. So psychic hearing. Clairaudience has to do with the throat chakra. It's ruled by the throat chakra. Communication, it's about listening and talking. And basically that kind of happens because there's a clearing happening, clearing for expansion. It's the same thing as when I first started making these videos. I would constantly feel like something was in my throat. I had to keep clearing my throat all the time. And that is clearing for expansion. That is opening of the throat chakra. When you speak your truth is actually how your throat chakra expands, how it opens. So that makes a lot of sense that when I first started to share my truth is when I started having a lot of feelings here, things going on in the throat. Now, the feeling in the ears and throat seems to be connected, which has a lot to do with, I believe, clearing for expansion of clairaudience, being able to hear more psychic hearing. So I believe that that is what the popping pressure sound is that I hear between the ears and throat. So that psychic hearing, expansion of the throat chakra. It's the same thing also as the heart. The palpitations, the pressure, that's the heart clearing for expansion. And that's the reason that you're having those symptoms of the heart chakra, the pressure, the palpitations. And that's when you know that you're healthy and there's nothing wrong with your heart, of course. Now, last but not least, we can't forget about the flashing lights that everybody kept talking about seeing. I haven't been seeing them lately. In the beginning of the year, I kept getting these flashes of light that I kept seeing. They started out as little flashes that I would see in front of me, and then it got to a point where it was bright flash and scared me and everything. So that slowed down, and now there's something different. So I think before the eclipse, like since then, it's been happening every day. I'm seeing what looks like a light in my eye. And when I first noticed it, it was almost like, seemed like something was on my eyelash, is how it got me at first. It looked like, let's say you have a little piece of lint on your eyelash and you can see it, you know, with your eyes. It seemed like that is what it seemed like at first. And then I kept noticing it and it was nothing on my eyelash. And then it started changing from like a quick little light that I would see to a light that you see, and it's only the left eye. And it seemed like it's moving across the bottom of my eyelid. It's a light that just moves across, and I see it in my eye. It's not in the peripheral. You know how we have seen things in the corner of our eye with this awakening where you're looking this way and you could still see it. It's not like that. I hope I'm making sense. So it's not like something in your peripheral. It's like something in your eye. That's how it seems now. There's a light moving across my eye that I keep seeing. So it almost seems like a light shining out of my eye. That's the best way I can explain it. And even when I learned more or read up on the, flashes of light, and I was trying to figure out what this was, you see a lot of information about you being able to see spirit for a brief moment, and that's the flash of light that you're seeing. And now I'm learning that the third eye is clearing for expansion. That's the reason we're seeing the flashes of light, and obviously why I'm getting this flicker of light moving which look like it's in my eye. Like it just looks like a light is shining out of my eye, and I keep noticing it. I could be sitting on the bed relaxing, and I'll see it, and it'll kind of like, you know, give me that feeling in my stomach, like, what is that? It's not scaring me. It's just it's a little exciting. Like, what is that? You know, what am I seeing? What's trying to make itself visible to me? So the third eye, all of this stuff that we're experiencing is ourselves. We are adjusting to the light, and our psychic gifts are increasing. A lot of expansion and growth is taking place. And so it's a beautiful thing. All these symptoms that we're experiencing, it's pretty beautiful. You know, this young lady I was speaking to on the podcast, she has a daughter, like a kid, 9-year-old, I believe, that had a Kundalini awakening. And I'm just like, wow. Like, you know, when we go through an awakening, going through this awakening, our IQ increases, right? And so to see sometimes 17-year-olds on this channel, like chatting with me about this stuff, it's like, oh my God. Like, what y'all gonna be doing when y'all, like, listen, I'm a late bloomer. It took me a while to even learn this stuff, but y'all, what y'all gonna be doing when y'all 30 and 40? You 17 and you're already taking in this kind of information? Y'all must be just gonna be around here floating, just floating through the sky. I don't know. Y'all are special. I'm telling you, y'all younger folks, y'all are just way ahead. Amazing. So fam, I really just wanted to share these symptoms that I've been having, you know, just a few of them. Aside from that, my neck is stiff every day, upper back soreness. Hold on. These headaches are super weird. So check it out. I remember having a very bad headache that felt like it was just like throbbing. And I remember having it after the full moon and stuff. And I would take pain pills and it wouldn't work. I just have to just lay there. It didn't even help. Pain pills wouldn't help. And I knew that was an Ascension headache. Now, getting bit by ants. Now, y'all, I'm having headaches that last like 5 seconds. It's so weird. Like I will just feel like, oh goodness, headache. And I'm like, okay, I got a headache now. 5 seconds later, it's gone. And then like maybe 10 minutes later, it'll happen again. It's like a 5-second headache. And it seems like right in the forehead and the crown at the top. Clearing for expansion. I'm learning to accept that some things I'm not going to fully understand why they happen, and it's not always necessary to know why all the time. That is our ego, wanting to know why this, why that. Sometimes just accept that you're changing, your body's upgrading, you're adjusting to the symptoms you've had, you're going through new symptoms, and you're just gonna feel them. It is what it is, fam. I hope many of you related to some of these symptoms that I've been having, because I'm pretty sure we all, you know, we're together a lot of the time on this. I hope this video helped, fam. And I'll see you next time, fam. Peace and blessings.